Hello Morocco! I'm Ryan with Maroc Treasure, and in this video we're going to provide tips to help you get the job that you want. I'm with Ali Harti. He's a career consultant and content creator. He's willing to share his expertise with us in the areas of CVs, job interviews, your LinkedIn profile, and cover letters. So it's going to be packed with information. أنا نحاول أعطيكم ملخص من بعد علي كيسالي. Let's go! Ali, welcome to Maroc Treasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. Do you mind introducing yourself and tell us a bit about your work?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Ryan, for the invitation. Thank you for the whole team for the amazing work. So, my name is Ali Harti, as you said, Ali Harti, and I'm a career consultant, a content creator. I started a career consultant, it has been now mostly 2 years ago, but I've been always that person who's trying to help his community, trying to provide a lot of knowledge and as well learn from the people that I know. I've been also president in the largest organization run by youth called ISEC, where I really learned the value of the community, of helping others, of leveling up and empowering the people that trust you.
I see you've got your ISEC bracelet on.
Yes, the ISEC bracelet is always here.
So let's get into the job content. Can you share some of the mistakes you see people making on their CVs?
Sometimes we as youth, me, you as well, I believe you've done this, we want to get a job so fast and we just write a CV in a rush and we send it to many companies and we send the same exact CV to all the companies. And sometimes when we do this in a very fast way, we forget some of the most important things in a CV. And I would say that the most important one really is, what are the actions that you've been doing when you had that internship or when you had that professional experience? I read a lot of CVs where the candidate just writes, for example, the title of the experience he had, and as well as maybe the duration and the place. But me as a recruiter, what I care about the most is what you've done, how your actions are actually going to help me and my company, how your profile is going to be an asset to the team that you're going to join. So for me as a recruiter to know this, I need to have the actions that you had.
Yeah.
So this is very important for every job experience. We need to have 2, 3, 4 maximum bullet points that describe the actions that you've done before in the past experience. But also the keywords.
Right.
There are a lot of people that just forget about the keywords. Like they can have the actions, but they are putting same actions or realizations in all the CVs. But there are some keywords that have to change, based on which experience you're applying to.
So the keywords are connected to the company you're
to the company and to the job description and to your position specifically.
Yeah.
So that's why we need to tailor a different CV for every job experience. That's very important. So the second mistake is really to be fast and to be in a rush and forget about the keywords. And when we're talking about the keywords, it's not only when it comes to the actions that you've been doing, but also when it comes to your interest, when it comes to the way you are describing yourself, presenting yourself, to the skills, your soft skills, your hard skills. That's really important. And that's the second one. And sometimes people, they just go all the way along and they do all of this, but because they are really excited about their CV and they want to place a lot of keywords, a lot of things, they have, for example, 2 pages in a CV. And for a recent graduate, it's something that cannot be acceptable because, yes, we understand that you have a lot of things to offer, but please just share with us what are the things that we want to know. Right. And in most cases, someone who's recently graduated, he can narrow his CV to 1 page. Even if, for example, you are a programmer, you are a designer, you can have a 1-page CV, and add a portfolio within the email that you are sending with your realizations, for example. But in the CV, it has to be 1 page. If you have no experience at all, you're just applying for an internship, for example, or if you have 2, 3, 4 years experience, 1 page is enough. After 6, 7, 8 years, maybe you can have 2 pages. That would be understandable.
Okay.
Yeah, so what do you think?
Great. Yeah, I agree. I think the thing to remember is the recruiter has limited time, and so they're trying to quickly narrow down the stack, the pile of CVs to a few interesting ones. And so if they see one that's multiple pages or that doesn't have the right details connected to the job, they're going to quickly filter it out.
Exactly. The recruiter has between 6 to 30 seconds to actually scan your CV. And most of the recruiters, when they have a lot of CVs, they are not trying to select the right candidate, but they are first trying to eliminate the wrong candidates. Because at first, it's just like a first scan, and they're just trying to find the mistakes that would help them to take the good CVs and read them again. Right. So the first analyze, actually the first scan, it's 6 seconds. Even like big companies, they have thousands of CVs. If you take 30 seconds and for 1,000 of CVs, it's more than 8 hours work. Right. And it's a lot of money, it's a lot of budget when it comes to the company. Yeah. So the recruiter, they really have to read the CV in a very fast way. And how they do this is by trying to detect the keywords that they care about. We have to add that there is something called the ATS, the applicant tracking system, and it's automatic, it's a robot. Like if you don't have the keywords that the robots need to analyze and to know, you have no chance actually to have your CV even read by a human being.
Wow, yeah. So really important advice. If it's not followed, you're going to be in that situation where you're applying to thousands of jobs and you can't understand why nobody's responding to you. And it could be that no one's given your CV even a look, no human, or that they haven't given it more than 6 seconds. So by following some of Ali's advice, you can get through that first stage. So let me see if I can summarize what Ali has said a little bit. Waha, kainin talata aqtaq hasik tjanib fi CV. Fi lul haskun CV غير ورقة واحدة. من بعد حسك حاول استعمل في CV نفس كلمات لي في دمان دامبلوا ديال الشركة. داكشي علاش ماشي CV ستاندرد. انت حسك بدل CV ديالك كل مرة على حساب شركة. المهم quality ماشي quantity. نقطة ثالثة ما تكتبش غير عنوان ديال الخدمة ديالك.
عنوان شغل عنوان.
شنو كدير بالضبط? You have to explain what you did exactly, include those actions. Now, if you have a great CV, people are going to call you for an interview, but before that, they may check out your LinkedIn profile. Do you have any tips about how to make sure that candidates have an attractive profile on there?
First, thank you so much for your efforts trying like to explain everything in Darija. That was really good. The first thing I would say is the profile picture. That's something that is like generic. It might seem fluffy for some of you, but it's really important because we don't take it seriously. Me personally, I never accept someone who doesn't have a profile picture. Like, if I see like there is a bit of efforts at least in the profile picture, then I know that it's a serious person. But if you're not even taking the time to change your profile picture or to have a specific cover picture, it means that you're not serious enough for LinkedIn. Right. The second thing is to work on your bio. I personally changed my bio 3 to 4 times within the last 6 months because every time I wanted to connect with a different social network and I had to speak the language of that specific social network. So now that I want, for example, to create more videos, to have more collaboration, to work more on my LinkedIn, I try to place some keywords within my LinkedIn profile to attract people from the same industry. So please in the bio try to place some keywords and what are your achievements related to a specific area or specific industry or specific field of expertise. So that's the second one. And I would say the third one is to talk about your expertise, to share some knowledge about it. Share your opinion. We want to know what do you think, for example, about digital marketing. You can be a lazy person and just share other posts or other articles written by other experts, but at least share with us your opinion. Yes, you want to talk about inbound marketing, for example. You're not going to write a whole article about it, but maybe you can tell us what do you think. Do you think the inbound is better than the outbound, or do you think they are the same? Do you think they have to be together for marketing to work? So we need to have your opinion about something, and we need to know what is your idea, what are your ideas about that field of expertise. Yeah. So you brand yourself as someone who's interested or who is even an expert if you're sharing a lot within a specific niche. Yeah. And this will help you connect with people in the same industry. Yeah. If you check, for example, my last posts in LinkedIn, they spoke to you. Like, I saw that you will like in some of my pictures as well, and some of my posts. Why? Because the things that I've been sharing are things that you are interested into.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that we're here right now doing this is evidence of the advice that you're giving. It shows that it works. So LinkedIn is different than other social media platforms where everything you do on LinkedIn communicates something about you from a professional perspective. Yes, so every post that you like, comment on, share yourself, it's noted in your activity. And so a recruiter can see what are the types of content that this person is consuming and then is interested in. And so you want to try to narrow in on your career niche and make sure that the content is around that. Now you made a great point that you may not have content to share yourself yet. You may be a recent graduate and you don't have a lot of expertise, and so you're not going to be creating videos or writing articles at this point. But as Ali pointed out, you can share something that you found interesting from somebody else. So that's a great place to start. واخا ملخص ديال نصيحة ديالك في الأول خاصك صورة بروفيشنال في LinkedIn. ضروري. The photo has to be professional. من بعد بروفايل ديالك خاصو يهدر عليك. قول حياة بروفيشنال ديالك. Tell the story of your professional interests. That's important.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Like, you summarize everything. Share with us what is your professional journey. And it can be also like your community work. You've been in in an association, in a club. I shared a lot about my ISEC experience first. Share with us what is the last event that you've been to. Like anything that is related to the professional world somehow, or where you achieved something, where you worked with someone, that's valuable for LinkedIn.
So as people follow your advice with CVs and LinkedIn profile, they're going to get called for interviews. Do you have any advice about that intimidating process?
You need to make sure that you know a lot of information about the company. And here I receive a lot of questions about Ali, which is Ali in Darija. What do you want to do? How we can do actually researches about the company? How we can know what are the informations we need to talk about during an interview? So here, there are a lot of ways, but the most efficient way is to have a talk with someone who already works there. But you cannot have this if you just created your LinkedIn profile 2 weeks ago and you want to apply, you want to get an internship after a week. Like, you cannot connect with people that fast. But if you follow what are the things that we gave in the previous advices related to LinkedIn, after a couple of months, you will find yourself having some real and genuine connections with people working within a specific industry, a specific niche. And you can ask him some questions in order to know what are the projects the company is heading to, what are the skills needed for someone to succeed in that position. And this is the best thing that you can do. If you can't do this, if you are in a rush, at least try to analyze profile LinkedIn of the company, try to read more information about the company in some articles, try to visit their website, and you will have a lot of keywords, a lot of areas of understanding that you can use in order to customize your answers for that specific interview in that specific position. So that's the first tip, and that's the most important one. The second one I would say is you need to ask some really good questions. So sometimes the recruiter, he wants or she wants to know if the candidate is really interested in a job. And at the end they ask, okay, Mr. Ryan, do you have any questions now at the end of the interview? But the candidate is really in a rush to go. Maybe he has some other interviews to check, and he's like, no, it's okay, and he just go. Or maybe he will ask a question about the salary. Sometimes it's too early, or the working hours. But there are some Other questions that really show how genuine you are and how interested you are in that position. Maybe questions like, how can I be the perfect candidate for this job opportunity? What are the skills needed for someone to succeed in that specific job? And when you ask these kind of questions, you make it about the company. You don't make it about yourself. And when you make it about the company, you show that you are interested in that company, in that position, and you leave a good impression at the end.
Yeah.
So that's also something very important. The last thing is dress professionally, dress the right way. And when we're saying this, we're not talking only about the physical interviews. We're also talking about like the video interviews. Like now with all the things that are happening, COVID and stuff, we have a lot of like video conferences and video calls, and some people just don't take it seriously. Like, since I'm not meeting with the person face to face, I can just have a T-shirt. But no, even if you are like having to, even if you're having, I don't know, a video call with a recruiter, you need to dress professionally. You need to have like maybe a shirt, you need to have a tie, like, you know how to dress, people know, but you need to make the efforts, and you need to prepare for your video conference, because sometimes you are dressing good but the lighting is bad and you don't really show up in the best way. So be professional, dress in a good way, and also prepare your environment so it can absorb and it can give a good energy if you are having a video call with a recruiter.
Yeah, this is great. Okay, now let's see if I can summarize in Darija now. I'll give it a shot. في الأول خاصك أعرف معلومات على شركة باش أدابتي جواب ديالك مع أسئلة ديالهم. من بعد وجد أسئلة مزيانة باش سؤال في الحار ديال انترفيو. في الحار ضروري لبس حوايج بروفيسيونيل، مشي شورت، مشي ساندال، مشي nadadar mshimsh. No, dress the part. Lastly, let's talk about cover letters. Are companies still asking for them? Are they important? And if so, what's the structure that our cover letters should be?
The thing that I can say first is a cover letter, if it's a good one, it can help you get a job. It's not an insurance for the job. But a bad cover letter, it will kill all your opportunities. So if you're not sure you're given the right time to a cover letter, please don't send it at all. Because if the recruiter reads your cover letter and he feels a generic one, he will not accept you at all. Because he will know that you didn't make any efforts in order to apply to that specific position. So here, the first thing when it comes to the cover letter is really the hook. Something really, I wouldn't say personal, but something very specific to that company. You really need to take something very specific about the company that is like, when the recruiter will read it, he will say, oh, he knows about this? That's really cool. It means that he's done his homework. So you need to hook them with something very specific, and that thing should be related really to the job opportunity that you are applying to. So if you're applying for HR, you need to hook them with something related to HR. That makes sense. That's the first paragraph. It's 3-4 lines. Then you expand on that hook. You explain why what you said at the beginning is important for you. And in this part is really where you describe yourself as a good fit for the company. Here we're talking only about values, and we're talking only about vision. We're not talking yet about what are your experiences. We're just expanding on the hook and explaining why that hook was important for us. Okay? This is the second paragraph. The third paragraph, it's until here where we start talking about our experiences. Community work or job experiences, internships. And again, we have to highlight the biggest realizations in which we did something that can speak to the company, something that is related to the hook. Okay, so there is really a pattern that is happening in here. So we said first paragraph the hook, second one we expand on the hook, third one we talk about our experiences, and the fourth one is where we thank the recruiter and we remind them about our qualification, about our specific skill that that can place us as an asset for that company. We thank them and we remind them with our contact. If they want to contact us, we greet them in a good way. And yeah, that's for me like a good cover letter. But everything is based on what are the initial researches that you've done before.
Yeah, that's the foundation.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's good. Let's see if I can summarize that. ضروري استعمل خطة في cover letter ديالك. حاجة الأولى كتجذب انتباه ديال الشركة باش قراو لتر ديالك.
Exactly, you're so good.
من بعد علاش انت مهتم بهذا الخدمة.
Yes.
من بعد سول راسك وجاوب علاش كدان انت شي واحد مزيان لكي كدار سد احتياج ديال الشركة. انت في واحد جهة شركة في جهة الأخرى. داكشي علاش حسك صعب قنطرة بينكم بجوج باش واري كيفاش انت كدار سد احتياج ديال الشركة. Okay, so you're building a bridge between the two.
Exactly.
في النهار شكر شركة وأعطيهم معلومات ديالك باش توصلوا معك. So that's a great summary of what a cover letter is. What you can see here is all of these tips require a lot of effort. It's a lot of work. And so people need to shift their mindset from just creating a generic CV and cover letter and sending it out to a lot of companies, a huge quantity, towards focusing and doing research on really good opportunities and shifting to quality. This has been really, really helpful, Ali. If people have more questions for you or they want to see some of your other content to expand on these points, where can they find you?
I am on LinkedIn and I'm also mainly on Instagram. They can type like, I believe you can put here,
we will.
like my profile, and I'm trying to share as much as I can videos in Darija and now also videos in English. Thank you again for your opportunity. Thank you for like all this good welcoming. Thank you for the team for being here as well. So that was really a pleasure. I learned a lot also with you during our coffee chat there. Thank you so much, and I hope it's the first video among a lot, inshallah.
Yeah, that sounds great. We'll definitely have you back.
Thank you.
Okay guys, hope you found that helpful. Best of luck as you do your job search, and until next time, get wisdom.